Hello everybody, your boy Zack back to attack in another video. Today, as of right now, no progress has been done, and I'm not a psychic, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that no progress is getting done today. But later in the day, later at night, Zack will recap and let you know at the end of the video. Anyways, real quick, so today, I got up and went with Father to go see Gladiator 2, and I was entertained. I was quite entertained. This is, back, obviously, there's back and forth, there's people who hate it, people who like it, people who love it, whatever. I like it. I think it was a good movie. Was it better than the first one? The first one is it's kind of more of a classic one. I did just watch it recently. I would say the first one's is probably better. This one it has more updated, graphics, or visuals, and more updated, fighting and all that stuff. There's a lot of action in it. Okay, it's more action heavy. I thought it was good. There's these two emperor characters. They're twin emperors. They were interesting. They're obviously they're not going to be as they weren't even intended to be as villainous as like Joaquin Phoenix's emperor in the first one. They're played differently, and that's what I like about this film is that I feel like the people behind the film, they realize that this film is gonna be compared to the first one, and they're not trying to be that, but they are. Like it has a lot of like nods to the first one, and there are characters from the first one that come back into this film, and there are revelations had in this film that harken back to the first one, and so it honestly, I thought this was going to be more of like a loose sequel or like a reboot-ish type thing, but it's just marked as Gladiator 2. But honestly, it is Gladiator 2. It is a proper sequel if there was one. If there ever was going to be one, I would say this is a good sequel. I gave the first one a 7.5 out of 10. This one, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I almost want to give it a 7.5 out of 10. And I don't know. It was, I don't know. It went by. It was 2.5 hours long. I don't know. I'm still really recent to it, so I'm not gonna nail down 7 out of 10 for this film. It might end up being 7.5 or higher. I don't know. I still gotta think about it because I'm in the recency biased stage. It's pretty good movie. Because I just saw it just a little bit ago. And yeah, it's 2.5 hours long, mind you. But it did not feel that way, and that in my opinion is a marker for a good movie. Maybe like all things, it has flaws and whatnot, but it's like, I don't know. It was just really entertaining the whole way. I was intrigued in the story. I was intrigued in the characters and the revelations that they told to the audience, even though some of them were predictable. And maybe that's something you can count against it and why it wouldn't be as good as the first one. Maybe I don't know. I'm sure there's some predictable stuff in that first one. Whatever. Anyways, my point is, yeah, you're probably gonna hear people be like, don't go see the Gladiator 2, because I'm seeing a lot of that. I say go see it. Like, as long as you go in knowing what you're getting. Like, you're not gonna get something that's like, for some people it does top the first one, but like for most people, yeah, no, you're not gonna get like this next level iconic like sequel thing. You're gonna get what is a reasonable sequel to have been made to follow that story. And so, it's good. I like it. It makes sense. There's one little tiny thing. I think that they kind of did it, but they didn't at the very end, the very last scene, the last second of the film. It was like there's just something that they could have shown, and like they have the effects to do it. There's things that they could have done. They kind of did it, but they kind of didn't at the same time. And I'll get more into it in my proper review, which I'll post on my Instagram, which is linked in my YouTube bio. Whenever I end up doing my top 10 or top whatever movies of 2024, which will have, that'll come out like in, I don't know, like late December, early January, that I do for funsies. I'll end up talking more in depth about this film and stuff like that. But really, it was really good. It was really entertaining. Right out the gate, there was action. Pedro Pascal, he plays in the film, honestly, a lot minor of a role than I thought. He was somewhat prominent, but I honestly, I only saw the trailer a couple times, so I didn't really remember really anything that I saw in the trailer. Other than just the fact that I just wanted to go see it because it looked cool, and it sparked me to want to go watch the first one and whatnot. Pedro Pascal's character, it is limited, but he's good in the role. I really did assume he was going to end up being the Gladiator in the for what it's named after. I thought that's what the film was. I don't know. I'm sure the trailer probably doesn't even make it seem that way. I don't know. I don't remember what the trailer looked like. But yeah, good stuff. It's got Denzel Washington as well. He is probably the most interesting character in that film because he's playing throughout the entire film. He's playing a game of chess, and I think it's really cool. I think maybe some writing or movie critiquers, they'll and maybe in some aspects I would agree. They would say, this could have been his character could have been written maybe a little bit more, I don't know, smart or more more intelligence or whatever. Make his little game of chess seem a little bit more, I don't know. But I think it was really cool. He was, you don't really see until you get through the film, but he has his own agenda and things that he plans that he wants, and he goes through many different acts in order to work to achieve that goal. So, yep. And then I recognized the main character. I recognized him, but I can't place a name right now. It escapes me. I was like, man, I've seen this guy somewhere, I think. I'm pretty dang sure, but I don't know off the top of my head. So, but yeah, they brought some characters back from the first film. Yeah, I really think it adds to the first film in a way. Obviously you can go without seeing this movie. But I think it's cool. And who knows, maybe they'll make a third one. If it comes to movies and stuff, and I'm sure, yeah, they'll try to milk a third one out. Obviously this one wasn't even needed. This is them milking the first one, because, it's been 20 freaking years. Although, to be fair, it takes place about that time, and I did more looking into it, and this was actually the original sequel idea that they wanted to do a while back, but they just ended up not doing it because all sorts of stuff. And they just didn't end up making this film. And eventually it morphed into what we have today, this movie. It's more, more modern version. So this really, I think this movie was going to come out at some point, but it just ended up getting delayed and derailed and canceled and then called off and then re-put back on and all that back and forth. So, yeah, this was because I remember people talking about it. They were like originally we had this idea and it sounds pretty close to the plot of this film. There are noticeable changes that have been made, but it's been 20 something years. They've been like, oh, let's do this instead. So yeah. Anyways, good movie. I recommend you go see it. I went and saw it in theaters with Father, and it was good. It was jolly good. Saw some trailers in theaters. The only two, there might have been other trailers, but the only two that I remember and that stood out were two Marvel films. The first one it was a new Marvel film for that Kraven character that was in that new Spider-Man game, Spider-Man 2, Kraven the Hunter. That's the name of the movie. That's the name of the character from Marvel. And it even has the Gladiator himself, Russell Crowe. He stars in that upcoming movie. I saw him in the trailer and I was like, hey, it's the Gladiator. Right before we go see Gladiator 2. And then there's a second Marvel film, Captain America, Brave New World. That actually looked decent. I don't know, that might be good. Some of the Marvel movies have been stinkers as of late, but that one It looks like maybe it has promise. It looks like maybe they're like, because, you know, the new Captain America is the Falcon, and like I feel like it looks like they're going through like a route of like for his character, like, because they even said it in the trailer, like you know, Harrison Ford is in this movie. I think he plays the president, and or something like that, and he's talking with the Falcon, and he's like, "You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers." And then the Falcon, he says, "You're right, I'm not." And then it just shows him like kind of like going wild and stuff. So I'm like, well, maybe this new. I think a cool approach would be, if that's what they're doing, is like this Captain America, because the Steve Rogers Captain America, he's very by the book and tries to do the right thing, and maybe this Captain America tries to, bend the rules to his way, and sometimes doesn't go just by the book. He does his own thing, and I kind of like that idea. So hopefully that's what they do. I don't know. We will see. I think that would make it for an interesting film. You know, Captain America: Brave New World is what it's called. So be interesting. I imagine it ties into that mini series that they did, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that came out like in 2021. So yeah, I would imagine. I mean, that did set it up. So you know, for him being Captain America and whatnot. So anyway, yeah, that's all I really got to talk about right now. Gladiator, good. Couple movies to see maybe towards, beginning of next year. And yeah. Yeah, so anyways, later in the day, Zach will get back to you. I'm having a friendo, Paolo, come over. And we're gonna hang for a little bit. And yeah, so whenever I'll get a chance, I will wrap up this video and let you know whether or not I did end up getting around to writing or reading. And if I didn't, well, then it's going to be a quick wrap up. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later. Love ya. Have a good one. Yeah. Long live the Roman Empire. I didn't make any progress. Oh God. Okay. Buddy Luke, he came over. We watched the 3-hour movie Oppenheimer. It's pretty good. I thought I was gonna hate it. 3-hour movie about a fucking atomic bomb. It was good. It was pretty good. I don't know what I rated it. Like, I don't know, like 8 or something, maybe higher. I don't know. I'll deal with that tomorrow. I'm surprised I'm even trying this. Yeah, no progress. Oh God, had to cut the night short because I didn't make progress. I sure did get food poisoning. So yeah. Bye. I'm dying. Ha 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 ha. Mental health is like innate though, so that's pretty dope. That is all.